Hello, welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. Thank you for coming today. If anyone is out there yet, let yourself be known in the comments, in the chat. And as soon as you get here, be sure you say hello. Um, I have a guest today. This is Mande from the channel The Night Owl. It looks like we've got at least two people here. I don't know if that's just us or if there's two more people who are watching. And she's got Sadie with her today. And you have, I think you're like me. You're a cat person like me. You have more than one cat. How many cats do you have? I'll tell if
Two.
you have two. You only have two. Okay. Well, did you used to have more? Because I thought you had a on your banner or your opening, you showed a couple of cats. Um, more than a couple, I thought. We have five, so no, I'm not. I'm not judging.
Well, I had more, but three of them I had to go live with someone else right now.
Oh, okay, okay. So you've got two. You've got Sadie there. She looks sweet. Hello, everybody. Hi, Ro. And Ro says it's 8:30 where she is, so she's laying in bed. And I think Cheryl's same way. Hey, Cheryl. And Hannah, what time zone are you in? I don't even know. So thank you so much, Mande, for coming on short notice. I am the worst. I am last minute Lizzie of lining up people. So here's what happened. I had said, that well, just in my own mind, not to anybody else. I was thinking, well, it would be cool to have different people on than the people I had on last year. The people I had on last year were amazing, and all those videos are still up. Anybody watching can go and check those out. I had some really fantastic guests, but I thought, there's so many people out there. I will try to line up different people so that, you guys watching can meet some different people. And then I just piddled around and waited to the last minute. And I thought of a couple people, and then they couldn't do it because I don't know who works in the middle of the day and who doesn't. I don't know who's available and who's not. And this morning, and I had already decided I'm just gonna do this myself. I'm not even gonna have anybody come on. I'll just come on, and say, hey, we'll just chat, we'll drink our coffee. And this morning, I was on Instagram and I saw Mande's post that of what she's reading for March Mystery Madness, and I was like, oh my goodness, I think Mande was in the chat last week. I bet she's home. And bless her heart, with less than an hour to spare, she agreed to come on. So, Mande, tell everybody about yourself. You've been on Booktube for a while. Her and I have done some buddy reads. We have been buddy reading a romance series for a few years now. But tell us about you, what you like to read, what you're reading for March Mystery Madness, and anything else you want to tell the people.
Well, there ain't much to tell really. Says that I have two cats. One of them said she wants to be up here with me. I like to read a mixture of books, cozy mysteries, romance, Amish, a little bit of everything. Um, I've already finished three books for this month. One of them wasn't a mystery, but I finished The Cat Who Brought Down the House by Lillian Jackson Braun.
Awesome.
Let's see if I can. I'm trying to remember the other books I finished already, but I have planned to read a couple more Lillian Jackson Braun books for the month.
So yeah, I mentioned that I saw it on Instagram. So if you guys don't follow Mande on Instagram or YouTube, when we're all said and done, I will add her links to the description so you guys can go and follow her on both of those platforms. And it really caught my attention when when her post showed Lillian Jackson Braun books, because I love that series and I've read all of those, and I wanted to find out because I didn't take time to look and see exactly where in the series you are. Are you reading them in order? Or are you just bouncing around? And how many have you read so far, like all together that you know of?
I bounced around throughout the series so I
Okay.
can keep track of how many I have left to read.
Have you read the first few, or did you just like pick them up randomly and just read?
I picked them up randomly and just read.
Okay, okay. Well, and it's interesting that you say that because there is a big contingent of people who read mysteries who are like, I will only read in order, and I did read them in order. But I have another friend from church who's reading them right now. In fact, I ran into her at a thrift store the other day, and she had her list out because she said she's reading Lillian Jackson Braun. She's reading all the Cat Who books, and she had her list of what she's read. And she was saying to myself and to a friend, she's like, I really like those because each one is its own mystery contained in one book, and you don't have to read them in any certain order. And I agree with what she's saying to an extent, with one caveat. I think personally, after having read all of them, that the first five, I think you would want to read in that order. Now, if you've already read some of the others, it's fine. You're just going to know if you go back and read the first five, you're going to get the backstory of how Quillerin ended up in Moose County. Because I don't know if you've read the first five, but he doesn't start out living in Moose County. He starts out living in the urban area, which I forget now. It's been a few years since I've read one, but down below, is that what they call it? He started out
Yeah.
living down below, and he didn't even own a cat in the very first book. The very first book, which is The Cat Who Could Read Backwards. Have you read that one yet?
I can't remember.
Can't
I know
remember.
I
Okay.
read one of the books in the beginning, but I
All
can't
right.
remember.
So look up the first five. This is my suggestion to you. After you get done with what you're going to read this month, look up the first five and read those in order so that you get the whole backstory. So in the first, and if you guys in the comments, and I'll put my glasses back on and say hi to everybody in a second. The first book, you learn how he gets the main cat that solves the mysteries, which is it
Coco.
Coco? Yeah. What's his actual name though? It stands for something like Calco or something like that. It's a Asian name, right? Because Siamese cat. Um, so you learn how he gets Coco, because in that first book, Coco's original owner is the one who's murdered, and then you learn how Quillerin comes to obtain him. Then and he's got a second cat, Yum Yum, and he doesn't get her until the second book. And then there is I need to look up the list. There's one or two where he's still working as a journalist down below, and he the funny thing though, in every single book, he lives somewhere different. Even when he moves to Moose County, he's always moving around to like staying somewhere temporarily, which I think is kind of fun. Um, but then in the fourth or fifth book is when you learn about his inheritance and how that comes about and why he has to move to Moose County to be able to get this inheritance, which he doesn't care anything about. But if he doesn't take the inheritance, it's going to go to some place crazy. And so he realizes how much good he can do with that money and with that estate. So he ends up going to Moose County. So I think it's the fifth book where he actually ends up, and that's the first book that takes place in Moose County. So I am looking up Goodreads to see what the order is. So all of you out there watching, if you've never read Cat Who, that's my recommendation, that you start with the first five. After that, you could really go in any order, but be careful about the last five or eight of them, because some of us who've read them all think that those probably had a ghostwriter, and they're not nearly as good. In fact, the last one is just pathetic and sad in all kinds of ways. Um, so definitely don't read it. Um, well, as I say, there's really not a good time to read it because it's awful. You could really just skip that one, unless you're a completionist like me, and then you have to. But it's just like, oh, what? No, it was just sad. Um, but I would definitely not read it in the middle. So I've got them in order here. The Cat Who Could Read Backwards is where he gets Coco. The Cat Who Ate Danish Modern is where he gets Yum Yum. The Cat Who Turned On and Off. The Cat Who Saw Red. He's still in the city at that point. That one's kind of the most gruesome. And then The Cat Who Played Brahms, I think, is when he finally goes to Moose County. If I may have that wrong, but it's somewhere around book 4, 5, or 6. So, well, tell me though. Now here I am monopolizing the conversation, and I'm sorry. What do you think so far of what you've read? Do you enjoy them? Do you have any favorite characters? What do you think so far?
I really like the Cat Who series because, depending on which book you come across, they can make me laugh. Not every book will, but I would have to say Quillen and Coco are my two favorite characters in the book. Besides, I think her name's Fran, the one neighbor he had that he brought to Moose County later on in the
Oh,
series,
yeah. I
and
think you're right.
she ends up dying in one of the books.
Did she? Oh,
The cat
yes,
who talks to
she.
ghosts,
Okay, she owned the art store or something, or an antique store.
the antique museum.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Okay, so let's be careful about spoilers. But I know I just gave a few spoilers. But if you're reading them out of order, you're gonna, you know, it's gonna be messed up anyway. But not a huge number of things happen that you have to worry about. Spoilers. So if you're out there and you haven't read them, then if we spoil anything, we're sorry. Hopefully, if you're like me, by the time you get around to reading whatever book that is, you will have forgotten what we said. Let's hope for that. Let me go back and greet everybody who's in the chat. So Hannah, hello. Buggy reads. Ro, because he reads mystery. Cheryl, hello. And John Saxon, hello there from Australia. How are you? What time is it? Oh, he just said that 3:30 a.m. What are you doing up? Oh my goodness, it's been a long time since I've heard from you. Great to have you. Amber, hi Amber. How are you doing in your creative corner of creation? And Breezy is here, and Donna is here, and Storm is here. Hello everybody. Hello, hello. I hope you guys know Mande. If you don't, be sure to subscribe to her channel. It's called The Night Owl, and I'll link her YouTube and Instagram in the description once we're all done. Janelle is here. Hello, Janelle. And who else? Jillian, you are from the Killing Time with Cozies group. I recognize you. Hello. And Lindsay. Hey, Lindsay. Awesome. Great to have everybody. So if you're just getting here, we were chatting about the Cat Who books, the Cat Who series by Lillian Jackson Braun. I've read all of them. Mandy's read a bunch of them, and she reads out of order. I read them in order, and we were just talking about the series in general. And so if you have read any of them, let us know in the comments. Let's see. So yes, Cheryl says when Lillian Jackson Braun died, the rest of the Cat Who books got written by a ghostwriter. Do you happen to know at what point? I guess I could probably look at the publication dates and see, but I have a feeling though that even before she died, she had some help because it's kind of a gradual decline. And then I think right at the end, they just wanted to try to wrap things up, and I think they wrapped it up a little too much. It was just sad. So Donna says that she's also reading from the Cat Who series, but you're reading them in order to keep track of things happening in his life and what's going on in Pickaxe. Yes, same here. But it's true that, like what my friend was saying, that my local friend, each book has a mystery that's wrapped up in, within the book. So you can read them out of order. But Cheryl says, I don't care about the backstories. I just read what's available at the library at the time. I know, Cheryl, you're all good. If that is your preference. And then we have Ro who says, I could never read out of order. I'm going backwards in the comments, but Cheryl says she's got Libby Klein books coming from the library. Decided to read them in order for once in my life. Oh, that's funny. But sometimes it really doesn't matter. There's a Fanny Flagg series. It's the Elmwood Springs mysteries. I actually recommend you read those out of order because I read them. There's 4 of them, and I read them 3, 2, 1, 4. I would still keep 4 at 4, but I would recommend reading them just like I did because book 3 is better than all the rest. And I'm afraid that if I had started with book 1, I might not have been as enamored with the series as I turned out to be because I loved book 3 so much. And the book is Can't Wait to Get to Heaven by Fanny Flagg. Not a mystery, but I'm just throwing that out there because it's one of my favorite book series and just super cute book. So let me go back here. So Breezy says, I've always wanted to try the Cat Who series. So I think it's definitely, if you haven't read any yet, I would say start at the beginning. And once you get past book 5, then then you could probably pretty much read them in any order. But the very last book is, I think, The Cat Who Had 60 Whiskers. Just stay away from that one. Unless you've read everything else and you just must finish it. It is The Cat. No. The Cat Who Had. Yeah, The Cat Who Had 60 Whiskers is book number 29. There's also some books of short stories. I've read all 3 of those. Short and Tall Tales of Moose County is written as if they're stories that the people in Moose County told to Quillerin, and he put them in a book. So they're not necessarily cat related, but they are stories, and you do recognize a few of the little short stories. If you've read the whole series, you'll recognize a few. The Private Life of the Cat Who, as I recall, well, actually, I can't remember now. There's The Cat Who Had 14 Tails and The Private Life of the Cat Who. One of those is a short story book about cats, but they're not about Coco and Yum Yum. They're just cat stories, and I can't remember which is which. And then the
You
other
were
one,
right though. It's about the cat who had 14 tails.
is it the one that's just cat stories?
Uh huh.
Okay, they're good, but you don't have to read that in any order or anything. So, and they don't have anything to do with the series, as I recall. Maybe like one story does, but that's all that I can recall. So yeah, people are voting in. I'm a read in order person. There's Storm. Um, so Amber says, I haven't read those books. I have to read a series in order. It would drive me crazy to read out of order. um, let's see. Who did I? Janelle says, hello, everyone. I'll say hello to Sadie. There's Sadie. And somewhere Donna wrote how many she's read. I'm trying to go back and find your comment, Donna. I think I went. Is anybody else reading the Cat Who books, any Cat Who book for March Mystery Madness this year? Would be a good question to ask. Donna, I can't find your comment. I think she said she's read 10 of the 29. So Storm says she's not read the Cat Who books, but she's seen them at one of the many bookish places I've gone to lately. You go to bookish places? Tell us about your bookish places, Storm. I'm assuming she means like libraries and bookstores. Any place that has books for me, and I'm there. Thrift stores.
And I came across the new to me author last month,
Oh, tell
and the
us.
books reminded me of Lillian Jackson Braun's books.
Tell us
And
about them.
it's by Shirley Razoo Murphy. It's called the first book in the series is called The Cat on the Edge. It's about a talking cat that helps solve mysteries.
I have heard of those, and I have not read any. I want to say, I think Donna has read some of those. Donna, if you're still out there, have you read those? Is it Shirley Rousseau Murphy, right? And what's the name of that series? Anybody know?
Joe Gray series.
What is it again?
Joe Gray.
Joe Gray. Okay. All right. I'm still going back through the comments. There are not that many comments, and I lost my place. Unless it's not letting me. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's not letting me go back. That's what it is. It's not letting. Well, do y'all ever have that, like where you're watching a live stream and then it won't let you go back as far as you want to? It's aggravating. I find that to happen. But anyway, as I recall, I think Donna said she's read 10 out of the 29. And I don't remember. Donna, do you read in order? I can't remember if you do or not. So how many of those have you read? The Joe Gray books?
2 so far.
Awesome. And you like them? You recommend them?
I recommend them.
Tell
Especially if
us a
you
little
like.
bit about how it's set up, like what's the premise, and tell us about the main characters and stuff.
Yes. Joe Gray is the name of the cat, the talking cat that solves the mysteries. The first book, um, his owner finally realizes that he has a talking cat.
So it literally talks, like does it talk? Is he the only one who can hear it talk, or is it supernatural, or I mean,
So
how?
far, what I can understand of the first 2 books I've read, that his owner is the only one that can hear him.
Okay.
But he tries to communicate in his own way to other people to get them to listen. Say, here's the piece of the puzzle you need to solve this.
Okay. Fun. Let me look those up for the people and let them know what the first book is. I have seen those around, and just I think was it Roe that says she's so behind on cat themed mysteries? I know, me too. And I love cats, but I tend to put them off. Well, actually, I'm reading one right now that's really good. I forgot how you spell Rousseau. Is that French? Oh, here we go. Joe Gray #1. So, Cat on the Edge is the first one. Let me see if I can. Will I be able to show you that one? Cat on the Edge. That's Joe Gray #1. Oh, so Donna says she has not read. Oh, she's read the. Well, let's just read her comment. Donna says, "No, I haven't read the series Mandy mentioned. The cat series I love is the Mrs. Murphy Mystery Series by Rita Mae Brown, one of my most favorite authors. She would really be a hoot to know." Awesome. Yes. And I have not read any of those either, Donna.
I
I need to
read
get on that.
1 book in that series so
Yeah.
far. 1 or
What'd you think
2.
of it?
I really enjoyed them. I mean, they're another good cat series to read.
The Joe Gray series has 21 books. And let me see. When was the last one published? I always like to see if it looks like a series is finished or not. Do you know if the author is still writing them or is she still living?
No, I don't.
So is Joe a male? Joe Gray? Is it a man? Because it's interesting that here's 2 cat series where the main character is Joe the cat or the man? That's what I'm asking, I guess.
Um, for the Joe Gray series,
Yeah.
Joe Gray is the cat, which is
Oh,
the main character.
okay. Well, so is the main person a male or female?
Male.
Okay. So, and I guess that was what I was just thinking that was the case. So it's interesting. We have 2 different cat series written by women, but with male protagonists. So both the cats and the main people characters are male. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think that's the case with the Mrs. Murphy series, because obviously Mrs. Murphy is female. Tell us, Donna, tell us about the cat in that series. Is it more like a talking cat? Does the cat solve mysteries, or is the cat just in the
It's about a
Story.
talking cat that puts his nose where it doesn't belong and
Oh,
starts solving mysteries against his
okay.
owner's wishes.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So I'm reading a cat. We'll just turn this into a cat chat, but I'm reading this one right now, "The Cat, the Professor, and the Poison" by Leanne Sweeney. This is from the Cats in Trouble series, and this is book 2. I've read the first one, but I don't remember much about it. And in this series, the cats don't talk or anything. The main character is the person, but she's got 3 cats, and they are just they're just there, you know. There is one situation that happened about midway in this book where they came to her rescue, or at least one of them did, where she was in trouble. Someone had broken into her house, and the cat, ended up pouncing on the person, which happens a lot in the Cat Who mysteries as well. I love it when Coco just tears up a villain. You know, I mean, he just goes to town if anybody is breaking and entering, or anything like that, and it's great. Oh, and so Ro brought up another one. I want to read The Cat in the Stacks by Miranda James, and Magical Cats by Sophie Kelly, and Cats in Trouble. Those are the top 3 to get to. So, Ro, have you read any of this one? This I think is awesome. In fact, I got to the middle of this. Sometimes it kind of takes a whole book to get to anything exciting at the end. This one, right in the middle, I was just reading. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, "What? Oh no!" And it was like, "Wow!" So, I love that when it can really keep you keep you going. Through the whole book. So I am not much into like magical stuff, but I can get behind a talking cat or something. Now in the Cat Who series, Coco doesn't talk, but he will do stuff which even at the time, like he'll push a book off the shelf, and Quill will look at it and put it away and think nothing of it, and then he'll go back later as the mystery is unraveling and think, "Oh, he was trying to give me a clue because the name of that book was whatever, whatever," you know. Or the cool thing about Coco is that whenever a murder happens somewhere in the vicinity, he will usually yowl at the top of his lungs. And if it's the middle of the night, it wakes up Quillerin, and he's like, "Oh, something just happened. I know that something has happened." And he'll find out the next day that there was a murder. So it's almost like he's just got a kind of an ESP sort of a sense. Um, oh, she's commenting about your kitty. She's on her back. I know. I love kitties. I don't know. You probably can't see Boots. He's my loud one, but he's right here asleep on
Excuse me.
top of the recycle bin that's full of paper that I need to actually carry out to the recycle bin one of these days. But I can't do it right now because he's made that his favorite spot to lay down. Anyway, all right. So, what else are you reading for March Mystery Madness? Tell us about anything else that you want to tell us about, and then I'll tell about what I'm reading.
Have you heard of Carolyn Hart for author?
Carolyn Hart. I have
Mm-hmm.
heard of her, but I have not read anything by her. Is that the one that has like the bones in all the titles? Hang on a minute. Emily's in here just a second. Give me.
Um, she's also another new to me author. She's the ghost in the story that solves mysteries.
Okay. Is that the one? I think I have one called Smarty Bones that my sister gave me. Is that from that series?
Um,
I feel like it
I'm not
is.
sure. The first book, um, I know I just finished Mary Mary Ghost the other day, and the
Okay.
first book in the series is called Ghost at Work.
Okay. I'm looking up one by her that's called Death on Demand. That might be the one I'm thinking of.
I think she has several different series out, but this one's the Bailey Ruth series.
All right. Let me look that up. Ooh, so she's got 107 books. Man, how do people write so much? That is just crazy. My phone is not telling me the names of the series. What's the name of the book that you're reading?
I had finished Mary Mary Ghost. It was the third book
Here it
in
is.
the series because at that
Oh, yeah.
time I couldn't get the second one.
Okay, I found it.
Because I'm trying to read them in order since it's a new to me author.
Yeah. The first, it says Mary Mary Ghost is the second one. Ghost at Work is the first one. Ghost in
Okay.
Trouble is the third one. There are 9 books in the series. Yeah, I haven't heard of this one. Awesome.
So it must be the third book I'm fixing to plan to read then for this month.
Okay.
Sometimes I lose track of time and space, you know.
Don't we all? So let me find the one I was thinking of. Let's see here.
And that book series don't have very much paranormal part to it.
Oh, okay. Sarah
If
Booth
there's someone out there
Delaney.
that's worried.
Okay. The book I was thinking of, my sister sent me this. It looks really cute. It's book 13 in the Sarah Booth Delaney series. It's called Smarty Bones. And I think on all of the covers, there is something skeletal on each one. So like in this one, it's the hand that's pulling the book out from under her. That's a skeleton hand. So not necessarily a skull, but just something skeletal on
And this
it.
is the one I had just finished.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so it's a Christmas themed one. I
Yeah.
looked at that and didn't even realize it had a Christmas tree on it. That's
Yeah, this
cool.
one's evolved around Christmas.
Okay.
A little backstory on it. What I gathered so far from the first 2 books is before she died, she loved to solve mysteries. And apparently she wants to carry that on up there in heaven. And
Okay.
they have an organization up there, I guess, where they send people down to heaven or down to earth to help solve mysteries and protect people. And
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I have to put this up. Cheryl, thank you for correcting me. Wait, I put up the wrong one. It was Janelle that she says she loves Death on Demand by Carolyn Hart. Well, where is here we go. Smarty Bones is from Carolyn Haynes, not Hart. Thank you, Cheryl, for that. Because I looked at both of them and I still didn't see that. Thank you so much. Carolyn Haynes, different author than Carolyn Hart. So I am corrected. And thank you. Y'all never hesitate to correct me when I say something dumb like that. So let's see what everybody is saying. Readers Gotta Read says Death on Demand is set in North Carolina in a bookshop. Oh, that's cool. Is that where you're from? Are you from North Carolina? And I forgot, I know you are from the Killing Time with Cody's group. Thanks for joining us. Tell me your first name, or what should we call you? And Donna says, in addition to the main trio of animals in the Mrs. Murphy books, there are horses, a snake, an owl, an opossum, mice, foxes. They all talk to one another. Not really magical, though, in my opinion. So they can communicate with each other, but are they able to communicate with Mrs. Murphy? Is she like a Dr. Dolittle kind of a person? So, yes, thank you. Thank you, Cheryl, for that. And thank you, Monique. She says, Happy March Mystery Madness Month. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, they are 2 different authors. Thank you so much for that. Um, I know it's terrible, and it's not like, I mean, Carolyn is a popular name, but still, and both Carol and H, so it's understandable, but still, thank you for correcting me. Oh, Mrs. Murphy is the cat. I thought that was the person. Well, um, is there a person? Where did that just go? Did you take your comment off? Oh no, here we go. Cheryl says Mrs. Murphy's the cat. Um, is there a person then, or is it just completely about animals? Um, because I've read books like that, mostly like middle grade books that are all about animals, but where like the animals are the main characters. Let me know. I need to know. So I mentioned what I'm reading, and I haven't even put out a video this past week. I just realized the last video I did was last Tuesday with my author interview, where I interviewed Jessica Thompson. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen that, I hope you'll watch it and look up her books. They're really fun. So I'm doing okay with my reading as far as print reading, but I've kind of been cheating on BookTube. I've been watching a lot of reseller YouTube videos, and I've been binging this one particular channel, and I'm to within like 11 days of having watched all their videos from the beginning up to the present. And I keep, every day I think, okay, I really need to listen to an audiobook. And I think, oh, but I'm so close to getting caught up with their videos. And in case you're wondering, it's the Hustle Couple. They are a reselling team out of Dallas, Texas, and they're really fun. So I have been watching their videos and neglecting my audiobooks. So I have a book that's for book club and also the Irish readathon. And I have this checked out right now on Overdrive, and it expires tomorrow. And I've only listened to like an hour or two of it. So I absolutely have to get this book finished tonight or tomorrow. So I have to get that done. And I am currently reading with Elizabeth Tyree, or Beth, the first Trixie Belden book. This is The Secret of the Mansion. How many of y'all read Trixie Belden when you were kids or as an adult? Who out there has read a Trixie Belden book? I may have read a few when I was younger. I only had one, and it was book like 5 or 8 or something. I didn't have the first book, and I don't know if I ever read any of the others. I know I had one friend who had 2 or 3 of them, and I think we traded books. I think she let me borrow hers, and I may have read hers, but I was always a Nancy Drew girl, so I didn't really seek out and look to read all the Trixie Belden books. So I may as well just have been a new reader as far as this goes. So I've read the first 3 chapters, and I think Beth is reading 3 chapters a day for the duration of this. There's like 20 chapters, so she's trying to read it, I think, all in a week. And she started Sunday. I didn't get my first 3 chapters read till yesterday, so I need to read 3 to 6 chapters today. But it's cute. It's definitely dated. It was originally written in the 40s, I think, 1948. It was renewed in 1976, and so I would have been in the 5th and 6th grade in 1976. Well, no, 6th and 7th grade. So that's probably when I read what I read, was about that time. They probably had new editions that came out in 1976, and that's how I even, my mom probably saw one at the bookstore and brought it home. And then these newer editions came out in 2003. So I like I like that. I don't think they've updated this in modern time. Like with Nancy Drew, they continued to sort of modernize her as new technology came about, and I wish they would just keep it to the original. I wish they wouldn't do that. But I know, I mean, I guess I could see why they do things like that to attract newer readers, younger readers. But um anyway, this is fun. I'm not far enough into it to be able to give an opinion yet. There's a couple things that have happened that I'm like, oh, that kids would not do that today. you know, I find that to be true in a lot of these older children's books, that like things that would be a big safety no-no just wouldn't happen. But anyway, it's fun, and I'm excited that Beth is leading that as a read along. And then I started reading this one last month, and I started about halfway through the month, and I just didn't get very far in it. So I'm going to finish it up this month. And then for my read along, I'm reading Murder in Old Bombay by Nev March. I'm listening to this on Overdrive, and I'm reading it. And this is very easy to read. It's set in 1892 in India, and I thought maybe it would be difficult to read. The chapters are so short, and I love that. I love short chapters. It makes it so easy to read, and I'm stretching it out over the whole month, just reading 2 to 3 chapters a day, which makes it very doable for me. So I have discussion threads for this in my Goodreads, not in my Goodreads group. It's in the Mystery Madness Goodreads group under the Whodunits book club folder. So if you want to read that, or if you've read it and you want to check out the discussion, then it's there in the Mystery Madness Goodreads group. Not on Discord, it's just in the Goodreads group. All right, so let me catch up with the comments. Let's see, where did I get to? Wait, let me go back further. I read that comment. Okay, want to try the Second Chance series and the Cat Cafe. Ooh, this is Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Who wrote the Cat Cafe series? I don't think I've heard of that one. And I think I have read the first of the Second Chance Cat series, but I can't think who the author is. I think I even have one of them. Another cat series I really like is the Bookmobile Cat. I've read the first one of those, and the cat named Eddie, I think, is one of my favorite cozy mystery cats. He's so great. He's just got the best personality. So Cheryl says, a studio in the library said, which is Donna, the main person is Mrs. Murphy. The main person in Mrs. Murphy is Harrison, a woman. Okay. And I missed that comment, so thank you for typing that out. I had missed when she said that. I'm bouncing around in the comments and I'm missing some, and I apologize. So Janelle says she loved Trixie Belden when she was younger. Yay. So Donna says Mrs. Murphy's the name of the main cat. Mary Minor, or Harry Harrison, is the main human character. She is Crozet's postmistress. Oh, okay. The town must be, is it Crozet or Crozet? The postmistress for the first half or so of the books, a farmer and a great friend. Okay. Well, thank you, Donna, for clearing that up and giving us the info. Rose says, I just finished book 3 of the Cat Cafe series by Kate Conti. I enjoy it, but it's a little heavy on the sleuthing part for me. I want to focus more on the Cat Cafe. Okay, yes. And I know, and you know, Ro, just like you said, it's heavy on the mystery. Other people might read it and go, or, you know, or they'll read a different book and go, oh, there's too much fluff. I want more mystery. You know, so it's all about finding, excuse me, finding a type, you know, that you like, and then hopefully, you know, you could find more like that. One that comes to mind is the Royal Spinous series by Rhys Bowen. In that mystery, excuse me, sorry, the murder doesn't happen until like 41% into the book. And I've heard, I think it was when Courtney, the protagonist, she had a book club with Books in My Heart, and they read that book, and they were kind of complaining that the murder didn't happen early enough, and they kept waiting for the murder, you know, and wanting to get down to solving the murder. And if they hadn't said that, I probably would not have even noticed, because I was enjoying the characters and the storyline so much. It didn't even matter. It wouldn't have mattered to me if there had even been a murder. I was just enjoying the story. So I'm like that. I'm very much character driven. And, you know, if I'm enjoying the characters in the story, you know, it doesn't matter if there's a murder or not. I enjoy trying to solve it and trying to figure it out, but it doesn't, it's not a deal breaker. So Cheryl said, wait, did I miss one? Did I get this one? Yes, I read that. Okay, Cheryl said, I have the first Trixie Belden book waiting for me at the library. I read a few when I was younger, but I don't remember them. Yeah, same. I didn't remember them at all. I just knew they existed. and I used to have one, and I eventually, I don't even know what became of that one. I probably gave it to my niece or something. I used to have some of the Nancy Drew editions that were book club editions that had 2 books in one bind up, and I gave all of those to my niece, who's now in her 30s. So she, I'm sure, got rid of them. I would not imagine that she would still have them. So Donna says, I think I had the first Trixie Belden as a child. I'm reading them again, have read the first 2 of the 39 books. My current goal is to read the books published in the 1950s. So I would be curious to know, are you talking about to read the editions that were published in the 1950s. Like this one wouldn't do because this is published in 2003. And do you know if they changed? Did they update and change things? I don't feel like this has really changed. This feels very historic to me. The setting, the clothing. I mean, they've used the same illustrations. I'm almost positive. This feels very dated, but not in a bad way. Um, I think so. I could be wrong. I mean, they may have changed some little things here and there. Let's see. Rose says, I prefer more cozy. I don't mind mystery, but I like them to have a personal life and not just sleuthing. Yes, same. Definitely. Oh, so Storm, you DNF'd Rose Spinous and you were bored, but need to try it again. So maybe you are the type that wants more mystery. You want them to get to the mystery and quit goofing around already. So I get it. I get it. So Ro wants to know, Mandy, do you have any other cozy mystery series that you've read before and enjoy? So yes, tell us. I have been monopolizing the conversation, and we want to hear from Mandy. So tell us about anything you want to tell us about. In fact, while you do it, I'm going to go heat my coffee. You keep talking, and I'll be right back.
Excuse me. I haven't read too many mystery series except for the ones that we kind of already discussed already, like the Rita Brown series, Lillian Jackson Braun, the Cat Who series, and then the ones I just recently came across, which is Joe Gray, um, the Cat series. I haven't completely read through all the series yet for the ones I'm reading right now, but I'm looking forward to it. So, if you guys have any suggestions for me to check out, that would be helpful because I want to broaden my horizon on cozy mysteries. Sorry if my cat keeps coming in and out of picture. She's just still a kitten yet. Would you definitely recommend the Royal Spinous series? Okay, is there a lot of backstory in that one and a lot of characters you have to get through? Mostly. That's what I seem to be drawn to is cat cozies. But that's why I said I would take any recommendations to broaden my horizons.
I grabbed a snack. I made some Indian fry bread this morning for breakfast, and I ate like three, and then I felt sick. I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have eaten so many," but it was still sitting out. So when I went to get my coffee, I was like, "Oh, I'll have another piece of that." All right. So I totally missed what you said. I'll have to go back and watch the replay. But I did hear you say you want recommendations. Um, my recommendation. I have read all of the. Um, well, this is the one that I'm reading. It's really good. And Cat in the Stacks, very good. I've read all of those. And Bookmobile Cat. I need to get back to those. So yes, Storm is recommending The Library Lovers by Jen McKinley. I'm gonna have to read. I have read one Jen McKinley. It was the Hat Shop. But anyway, let's go down through the comments. So this is Monique, the Ginger Librarian. She says, I really want to read Murder in Old Bombay this month, but I can't find it in my libraries. Oh, shoot. Look on Overdrive and see. That's where I got it. I was on Overdrive. And she says, cute kitty. Awesome. Donna says, I love the Royal Spinous series. Murders do not have to happen in the beginning for me. I have read 8 of the 16 books published. Excellent. Have you read, doesn't she have another series, Donna? Rhys Bowen? I'm trying to think. I may be getting her mixed up with Julie Heisey. What other series does she have? There's something called...
That one sounds really good. The Amish Quilt Shop Cozy.
Oh, I love quilting cozies, too. Oh, Molly Murphy. That's what I was thinking of. Rhys Bowen has another series called Molly Murphy. And I don't know, it says... That sounds like something Janelle has read. Janelle, are you still out there? Have you read those? It says she won the Agatha and Anthony Awards with this cozy historical mystery series. So it's the Molly Murphy series is historical. Molly Murphy always knew... Oh, sorry, I have a dog here that's about to bark. Don't. Molly Murphy always knew she'd end up in trouble, just as her mother predicted. She has to flee her cherished Ireland for the anonymous shores of America, but starting a new life doesn't keep Molly out of trouble, and soon she's doing detective work in early 20th century New York. That sounds interesting. But before I even start that, I need to read some more of the Royal Spinous. I love the premise of that, and I've only read the first one and really enjoyed it. So I'm going to have to get back to those one of these days. All right, let's go now through the comments. I think a good starter series is Haley Powell Mystery by Lee Hollis. Okay, let's look that up. I think Lee Hollis has been interviewed by Tiffany. Am I correct in that? I can't remember if I watched that video or not. Oh, she has that PTA series. I've got a different PTA series on my shelf, but anything PTA I'm going to be drawn to because I was a PTA treasurer for a few years, and when Emily, who's now 20, when she was in elementary school, so it's been a few years, but wow, was that an experience. And yeah, murder at the PTA, if you've ever been involved heavily in PTA, you have no trouble understanding that there could perhaps be murders involved in PTA. But she wrote, let's see, the Haley Powell series. That's what I was going to look up. What is the theme of it? Is that the Kitchen Diva one? No. Oh, yeah. Haley Powell, Food and Cocktails Mystery. What about, Mandy, do you like any culinary or food-related mysteries or coffee or tea or anything like that? I know Storm doesn't like, she's decided she does not like culinary mysteries.
I'm not sure because that's why I was asking for any recommendations to help broaden my horizons on my cozy mysteries.
So Storm says, do you just read cat cozies? And I think you said that that's what you've predominantly have been reading, but you're willing to branch out.
Yeah.
So, are you in the Killing Time with Cozies group? Have you ever joined that Discord group? They give a lot of good recommendations in there. So here she's talking about the Haley Powell series, I think, by Lee Hollis. There is backstory and character development, so you would be spoiled reading out of order. So there's Rose's recommendation. Don't read out of order in that series especially. And then Storm also recommended to you The Library Lovers by Jen McKinley. She said it's her favorite, but it's not a cat cozy. Is there not a cat in it? I mean, all cozies have to have some kind of animal, don't they, Storm? Is there not an animal? Or is it just not a cat? So back to
I know the Carolyn Hart one I've been reading doesn't have a cat in it. It just has a ghost.
Okay. I mean, you find
Otherwise,
there's usually some kind of a sidekick, you know, some kind of comedy relief or something, um, and I think typically cozies you find a cat if not some other animal, then there's almost always going to be a cat, and it's almost like what was it you guys in the Killing Time with Cozies group when we were reading the Kebab Kitchen series. The very first book, the cat was not even very memorable. Excuse me. And somebody was saying it's almost like she wrote the story and presented it to the publisher, and they were like, "Oh no, you have to have a cat in here somewhere." So she added that as an afterthought because you know cats sell cozies. There's really no denying that. Ooh, what was that? What was that? Did you just turn something on? There's like static. I think we lost her. I think we lost her sound. Can you hear me, Mandy? Hello? I think we've lost you. Or is she frozen? No, she's not frozen. Oh, well, can y'all hear over that? Okay. Well, it will work itself out. It always does. So Donna says the first Trixie Belden, Secret of the Mansion, was published in 48, year you were born. Okay, awesome. Then the next 5 were published 1950 to 58. Okay. So I guess my question was, Donna, are you reading from those early editions because you were worried that they were updated and you want to make sure you read the original source material, or are you just saying you want to read the ones from the 50s, um, and that's your goal to read those that were written in the 50s? Maybe that's what you're saying. So anyway, we lost Mandy, but if she pops back in, I will let her in. I told her we wouldn't go over an hour, and I think it's been an hour now, but let's catch up with comments and see. So you were reading Hooked on Murder. Is that the one by Betty Hechtman? I love that series. It's really fun, Amber. Or let me know if it's something different, if it's a different author. So Monique says, I highly recommend the Amish Quilt Shop Cozy Mystery Series by Isabel Allen. I bet I read it with a friend last year and we both loved it. So I'll make sure she sees that. I have read that series as well and I love it. The little bulldog is the cutest ever. He is afraid of birds and he's just so cute. I love him. And Breezy says, I read the first Constable Evans mystery by Rhys Bowen. So as I was flipping through on my phone, I noticed that one, but then we had already gone on to another topic, and so I didn't mention that one. How did you like it, the Constable Evans mystery? Is it historical? Because I guess that's her other 2 series are historical, so I'm going to guess that this one is as well. I mean, it wouldn't have to be, but generally, if that's her niche is to write historical cozies, then that's probably what they are. So Donna says she agrees. Is it me or is there another Elizabeth? It always makes me nervous if people agree with me. I'm like, oh, I hope I said something right. They do seem original, unlike Nancy Drews that I remember. Okay, yeah. So you're saying that even if you read them out of a newer edition, they don't feel like they've been changed. Yeah, I prefer that. You looked for Murder in Old Bombay on Overdrive through 2 different libraries and it isn't there. Hopefully I can get them to add it. Yeah, here's what I do in that situation. I first find it and then click recommend so that it's in my recommendations on Overdrive. Sometimes libraries will go ahead and pick it up and that's all you have to do. I find with audiobooks, they're not as quick to do it as when you recommend an ebook. I think ebooks are probably cheaper. Audiobooks cost more, so maybe it takes a few people to recommend something before they'll actually buy it. But if it's a book for our book club, which this one is in our case, my local book club is reading it for April. I will put it on my recommend and then I will email our library director and I will say, "Hey, we're reading this for book club, because it's a library book club. Um, can we buy it on Overdrive?" And every single time I've done that, even if we're not reading it for book club, um, usually if I ask her, she'll go on and order it. And then by putting it in your recommended list on Overdrive, it means as soon as the library buys it, it automatically goes into your inbox. Unless someone else has recommended it ahead of you, then it goes to whoever was first. So there was a situation where I was like third in line for a book that I recommended, and I still ended up getting it pretty quickly. But that's the way to do it. Always recommend it first, then request that they buy it so that it will come to you as soon as possible. And that's my little hot tip for the day. Hot tip is what I was talking earlier about, how I've been watching the Hustle Couple, which are a reselling team on YouTube, and every time one of them will say something, they'll be like, "Hot tip, hot tip." So I've got hot tip on the brain. All right. So Monique, I hope that you are able to find it. And yeah, I would definitely just ask them. Say, "Hey, this is a popular book. It just came out. It's new. People are reading it. It would behoove you to have it in your collection." So Rose says Tiffany did oh, Lee Hollis is a him or a brother sister team. Okay. I was for some reason thinking Lee Hollis was a woman. There I go, assuming things. Assuming them incorrectly. So Lee Hollis is a brother sister team, and Haley Powell, the brother writes the book and the sister writes the newspaper column. Okay, so okay, so there Lee Hollis is a brother sister team, and then in the Haley Powell series, the brother writes the book, the sister writes the newspaper column. Okay, awesome, very cool. Hello, Robin. How are you? It's good to see you. I just found Robin's channel not too long ago, and she's got some bookish videos and also some handwork and crafting videos and everything. So y'all go and check her out. Amber, do you know about Robin Loves Reading? And if Robin Loves Reading, do you know about Ambi Crafts and Reads? Because y'all both like handwork and stuff. You should definitely get to know each other. All right, so oh, so she says, Rosa, stay away from the Lee Hollis PTA book, A Complete 360 from Haley Powell. Murder at PTA is very racy and not at all cozy. Okay, so I remember y'all talking about a book that you did not like because it was too racy. So gotcha. I will take that. I will take your recommendation. I've got plenty of stuff to read. I've got another series, and it's a 3-book cozy series. Trying to think of the author, and I haven't read any of them because I think I own books 2 and 3, and I need to find the first one. But I believe one of them is also called Murder at the PTA. So hopefully it will be a better book. I'm going to look it up and see. Murder at the PTA. Laura Alden is the author, and I think that's probably a pen name. The series is the Beth Kennedy series. The first book is Murder at the PTA. Then we have Foul Play at the PTA and Plotting at the PTA. Oh, there's 4 books. And Curse of the PTA. Oh, there's 5. Okay. I lied. I'm sorry. There's 5 books. That is the last one. Poison at the PTA. So I have books 2 and 3, and I have not started them. I don't own. There's the first one, Murder at the PTA, Laura Alden. And some of y'all out there probably know if Laura Alden is a pen name for another author that we know, that we've heard of or read books by. So Mandy never did come back. I guess she had some issues. Well, Mandy, if you're out there in the chat, I'm sorry we lost you. Let me see if she's messaged me real quick. Nope. She may have lost internet or something. So, all right, let's just go ahead and get through the comments and then we'll wrap this up. Did I read that one? Yes, I did read that one. I just read the first of Bowen's Constable Evans series set in Wales. Have you read her Molly Murphy series? It's on my radar, though. And no, I was talking about Molly Murphy earlier. I have not read it, and I don't know if she's asking any of you guys. So Library Lovers has a dog. Okay, well, that's good. At least it's got some kind of pet. Not that it has to, but come on. Cozy Mystery needs a pet, I think. Haley Powell, I mean, it's kind of part of the formula, right? Haley Powell has 2 kids, and you see them grow up throughout the series. She works at the town newspaper and writes a food and drink column. Okay. And you said you do like the Haley Powell series, right? It's the PTA one that you don't like. So yes, so Monique says there's a cat and a French bulldog and other animals in the Amish quilt shop cozy mysteries, all cute and funny. I have a Frenchie and a Boston Terrier in my household. Oh, you do? That's so cool. Yeah, I forgot about the other animals because literally the French bulldog in the Amish quilt shop mystery overshadows in my brain. He overshadows all the other animals because he's so great. He's just adorable. And Amber is reading the Betty Heckman one. Awesome, awesome. I've got one of those that I'm ready to read next. It's number 4, A Stitch in Crime. I forget what title you said you were reading. Are you reading the first one, Amber? If I scroll back, I'm going to lose my place. Hooked on Murder. Yeah. I can't remember if that's the first one or not, but those are fun. Constable Evans series seemed to be set in the 90s when it was written, but it felt historical, so I might be wrong. It's set in a small village in Wales. Maybe because there's so much historical stuff in Europe that even if you're there in modern day, you're surrounded by historical stuff, so that could be one reason for that. So here, so see, I'm not keeping up with the comments. So Roe asked me if I've read any of the Beth Kennedy mystery series by Laura Alden. That's the PTA series you mentioned. It's on my TBR. So yes, that was. And here's Mandy. She says, "Sorry, a phone call came in and messed things up. Now I'm having trouble getting back in." All right, so Mandy, if you just go back to that original link I sent you on Instagram and just click back in. All right, nobody comment for a second. I am going to delete this bot that just came in. Okay. All right. But maybe, I don't know, if you can click on it. We're about to wrap up. So if you can't get back in, that's fine. But thank you so much for coming, Mandy. I appreciate it. And I've only got a couple people lined up for this month. So if any of y'all out there watching want to come on, I had said, I was going to try to have different people this year than what I had last year, just to, so you guys could meet some new people and different people. That's not set in stone. So, it's fine. If you were on last year, I'd be happy to have you come. But like, any of you guys out there, if you're available next week or a week after or whatever, we've still got because there's 5 Tuesdays, so we've still got 3 left, and I can have more than one person on. I can have like 3 people, and we can just all chat. So that'll be fun. So let me know if you want to come on. So wait, did I skip? So Donna says, I'm in the middle of the first Mrs. Morris series, and there's a silver Persian cat named Silva. I am not familiar with that. Who is the author of Mrs. Morris, Donna? I do not know. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, but aren't you a librarian? I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know, but but you're welcome. So Amber says, when you were talking about PTA, it reminded me of the scene in Something to Talk About where Julia Roberts' character is at a ladies' meeting and stands up and tells everyone's business. I don't think I've seen that movie. That's funny. And Robin says, thank you. I'll check her out. And thank you for the troll notification. Yes, I think I've got it taken care of. If any more pop up, though, I'll grab it. And yeah, her name is Amber. She goes by Amby or Amber. Amby Crafts and Reads. Yes, Amby. Okay, great. Good. See, we've made a friend connection. Yay. All right. Donna says, forgot to state the author, Mrs. Morris, a bed and breakfast mystery. So just set outside of Salem, Massachusetts by Tracy Wilton. The first is Mrs. Morris and the Ghost, a nod to the Ghost and Mrs. Muir. Okay. So Tiffany, the Beach Bum Bookworm, always says that she likes bed and breakfast mysteries. So that might be one to tell Tiffany about as well. Robin says, wonderful. Okay, so they're chatting. Good, good, good. Donna says, I love Haley Powell series. I've listened to them all on audiobook. Okay, great. I'll have to check that one out. And okay, awesome, Cheryl. And like I said, I didn't ask you guys who were on last year yet because I was trying to, was trying to like get some new people for everybody to meet. Um, so maybe if I can just have like one new person per week so that you guys have some new people you can meet. So great. You did, I did know what you mentioned about overdrive. So, oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for saying that. Words of affirmation is my love language. So bye, Cheryl. Thank you. And I need to get off of here too. Uh, I was a couple extra minutes when I went to get my coffee heated up. Emily's video was like skipping, and that's why she had come in here. And so I told her I would just be like another 10 minutes and then I would come and do something with her. So um thank you all for being here. And I don't know who's going to be on next week. Actually, I do have one person lined up for next week. And it is somebody that has not been on here before, but it's someone that I have done a buddy read with in the past. So I will not say who, but you'll have to come and see and meet them. And if you do want to come on as well, then message me. Oh, there's my one of my kitties. There's Sweetie. Hey, Sweetie. Um, all right, so that is it. Oh, Amber says I should watch the movie. You are welcome, Mandy. Thank you for being here. You should watch the movie. It's good. It's from the 90s. Awesome. Yeah, I'll look it up. That sounds great. Thank you, Storm. It was fun to chat with everybody. And I hope to get my February TBR filmed today. I've had all the books sitting here for a week now. It's been a week. And every day something comes up and I just haven't gotten it done. So I need to get that done and get about the business of reading some more mysteries. So thank you all for coming, and I'm going to say goodbye. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take care. God bless you.